This is the second part of the series on the EGR valve and cooler for VW engines. This is the T5, but they're all pretty much the same. So the first video was taking the cooler out, which was taking the cooler out. So now this is the second part. We're going to take it inside, split it all apart, clean it, test it, and put it back in again. So we're inside now. I've had to go and buy on myself some E-bits. Look there. I'll put a link to those on there. But this is an E8. So the size is an E8. Look, and what we'll do. We'll get them on. Now you've got to get the right size of these because they'll round off otherwise. And we'll undo all 6 of that, and then we can take this off and we can see how blocked that is, and also we can have a look at freeing up this valve. Some of these can be quite rusty like that, so you have to put your socket on and then tap your socket. What I do, put your socket on there and then tap it, get a hammer and tap that like that, yeah, hard. You hit that hard a few times and that'll just sort of crack the joint there a little bit, and you can get that out. Right, okay. To get to this one, you're gonna have bend, because you've got a flexi there. You need to just bend that down a bit so that you can get your socket in there. So you see at the moment it's still a bit of an angle. You need to bend that in there so that you can get that nice and flat, and then we'll tap that on the end hard and then undo that. Sorry about the light here, guys. Look at the state of that. So this side's clean. This is really, really dirty in here. And look at that, that is completely blocked there. Well, that's how it should be. That's completely blocked. So what we're going to do, I'm going to spray some oven cleaner in there and let that soak overnight and try and clean it. And I'll clean this up as best I can. Now, that valve here, this valve here which opens this flap in there, look, is solid, seized. So there's no way that that's been working. It's amazing that I didn't get a fault code. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a screwdriver, pop that off there, and then we'll try and free up that valve. Now there's a seal here, sorry about the light, there's a seal here, look. So I'm going to try and just gently get a knife under there and gently peel that seal all the way off so that I don't damage it when I'm cleaning all this up. But also I'm going to just run some taps down here, because that one there particularly, I think it had some stuff, the bolt must have come through right the way through on that side, and it's got crap in it, and as I've pulled it out it's literally torn the thread. So I'm going to re-tap that. So anyway, I basically want to make sure that I can get this off nicely, clean all this up, and then I'll put a little bit of gasket sealer on there when I put it all back together again. And don't tell the other half. I've got a really nice good knife there, look, and I can put that so very gently get there. Now this has got 3 tabs that go in there, so you've got to be careful. And then we've got this off in one piece, look, so I can then reuse that with a bit of gasket sealer on it. And that's it, because if we don't get a good seal here and here, you're going to be ending up getting you're going to get a water leak, and you could also get gases going into your coolant system. Okay, put that up there. So now I want to start cleaning all this up. Oh, well, I'm going to pop it off there as well. Okay, so put a little spray, a little bit WD-40 on there. And you just put that on there, and you can just twist it like that. So I've got that off there, look, and that works. Like that can go up and down inside there, but this thing is seized absolutely solid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some torque bits and take this and just undo those 2 there, and then I can take that whole thing off, and that allows me then to work away on that. So these are just T20s. There you go, just undo them like that. That one, we'll take that off. And I haven't seen this on the internet, but I've got a really good idea, because I've got an ultrasonic cleaner, and that will fit in the ultrasonic cleaner. So I'm going to put that in the ultrasonic cleaner, see what happens. Okay, look, I put that. I couldn't find a plastic bag that was big enough to hold it, but I've just sprayed a lot of that onto the unit, and then I put it in the water. But already the water's black, so it's having some sort of an effect. So I'll put the lid on. I've turned it up to hot as it'll go, 70 degrees. Let's see how it goes. I put that unit in there in some oven cleaner and water, hot water, boiling water, up to about there. And I'm just going to let that soak overnight. See how that comes out in the morning. Next morning, I've taken this out of the water. Look how clean that is. That's done a nice job. I mean, it's not absolutely perfect, but that's going to do fine. It's clean down there. So this flat, look at that. Looks fine now. And if we go and have a look down there, look at that. That's come up really well down there, look. valve and everything down there is all nice and clean. So that's all working. That's all nice and clean. So now, what we're going to do now is we're going to check the. At some point, we're going to take these out and check underneath here, because what can happen under here is you get moisture. What actually happens, I think, what's a bit of a failure point, is that the seal there for that valve, which is operated in here, the seal in it goes, and you can get combustion stuff come up under there. So we're going to check under there. But before we do that, we're now going to check this. So we want to check that this works. So the way we can do that is you can find something with a vacuum and put it on there and see if that moves. Now, I'll put a link to the description in the description for this, but I've got a MITI vac here, great piece of kit. Everyone should have one. So I've got a MITI vac here. What I'm going to do is connect that onto there. So what this does is you pump it and it produces a vacuum. So the first thing you do is always check your tools work. I've bent that over double and I've pumped it, look, and I've got up to 20 HG vac. So that's about what the car is, 20 to 25. Okay, so let's connect this up to here. So what we'll now do is we're going to connect that up to there, and we'll just check what happens there. Okay, so I've just set that up so you can see. So look, I've got no vacuum. As I vacuum, look at this point here, look at that circle, see where it moves. Ready? As the vacuum goes up, you get both in the video. See, they are. It's gone right in. So that's up at 20. So that works as far as it goes. And then if we let off the vacuum, which is this lever here, ready? Watch. Yep, comes back. So we now know this is working fine. So we can now screw that back on. Obviously, if that didn't retract, your diaphragm in here is broken and you need a new one of these. Now, I don't actually know if you can buy one of these separately. I presume you can. But anyway, so that means that we can now put that one back on there and connect that back up. But I won't do that now until we do the next stage here, which is here. And while I'm doing all this, the cooler is sitting in the warm ultrasonic tank, cleaning itself up hopefully. Just put these in there, put a light tap with the hammer on it, and then that just make sure that this is in there properly, and it will come undone. Right, I had a suspicion it was all going too well, so I actually only managed to get out one of those solidly. All the rest, the tops sheared off. So I'm gonna have to quickly drill them out and then re-tap them. That's not a problem. So now this should gently come off. So we just gently need to sort of tap it under there. We'll pull this top off. And there's a spring under here, so be really careful. So we just take off a little bit. There's a little bit there. You can get your screwdriver under there and just gently lever it there. I'm going to go around and do it all the way around. I couldn't find it anywhere on YouTube for this. Look. Oh, look at that. So we're taking that off. That is all looking beautiful there. That is all super clean. Because sometimes the contacts in here can be a bit iffy. But that looks, you've got some little resistors down there. If you look there. Little resistors, capacitors, two there. Or are they resistors? Down there and one there. And sometimes they can be going. But it's just here to check it all up, check there's nothing in here. But that's all looking nice and clean. So I can put that back safe that it all works. I'm just going to clean it all up, make sure these gears all move okay. That's the spring you need to be careful of. That spring there. But we'll just clean that up and then we'll put it back. So that valve, you know, the silver valve down there, so what happens is this, when this turns like that, the motor is turning that like that, look, and that pushes the valve down. So you can check that. I can't do that with two hands, but if you look down there, you can see that the valve does move and open when I turn this like that. Okay, so that's all good. So now next project is just unfortunately, I've just got to drill these out, which would be a bit of a pain in the bum, but I'm going to do that. I mean, if I'd have soaked them for longer underneath with WD, maybe they would have come out easier, but let's see. We've put the spring back in there. Now we're going to put this back. So that spring has to go in there. So make sure when you turn it over, that little spring there goes in that hole there. Now before I do that, I'm just going to take this off here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of grease on that shaft there, and that'll run nicely. Okay, there's grease on there now. Now what we can do is we turn this over and sit it like that and make sure that that spring goes in the hole. So that's on there. Now remember there were the two metal spikes which actually push in and clip into the motor, so that you've got a contact there. So make sure they're in. And now we can start putting our
bolts back around there. Now I haven't got any, I need to go get some new bolts. So I just managed to find a 4mm there. So those two in there, that's all solid. So I'll wait till tomorrow and I'll pick up some new 4mm bolts and put them in there. So what we can do now on here, we know that this is running nicely here. So what we can do now is we'll put this back on here, and then I'll just test it with the vacuum in there and make sure it all works. So those two are on there loosely. So what we're going to do is make sure that this is in line, and we'll push this up with a little bit of grease on there, and we'll pop that on top of there. Right, that's on there, and as soon as that's on there, that's of course pushed it closed. So now we need to just straighten this up there. Look, you get that straight, and then we'll tighten those up. Okay, so we've got a vacuum. There's our valve on the right there. Look, the vacuum goes up, valve starts opening. Valve's fully open, 25. And it closes. So the valve doesn't open until, yeah, look, yeah. Well done. Okay. I think, so basically it's running on the engine about 20-25. So basically it'll open straight away when it's running on the engine. So we know that works, okay? So now what we're going to do, I'm just going to go and get my air compressor and just blow stuff here and make sure this is all nice and clean. But then basically, until I get my bolts to put in there, this is basically done. So then we need to go back and have a look at the cooler. That's now been in the ultrasonic cleaner now, resting overnight in the hot water, and I've run it with the actual ultrasonic a couple of times now. So we're going to have a look how that's getting on. Oh, I've just taken that out of the ultrasonic cleaner, look, and it's done a really good job. Look, these go right the way, all good, and right the way down. Look, you put that down there. So they're all clean. So I'm going to now go and get my compressor. I'm going to blow all those out. Now I will put in the description, you can get some, before I put it in the ultrasonic, I put a long drill bit down there just to clean them out. You've got to be very careful that you don't obviously puncture the tube, but so to make sure that they were all sort of in a sense clear, even though it was probably still blocked, and then I've put it in the cleaner and it's cleaned it up lovely. So I can put a link to the ultrasonic cleaner and the drill bit. But I want to go and get my compressed air now and blow that out. I've just taken a 6mm tap and run the 6mm tap in all these holes so that they're nice and free now. So I want to quickly get the air compressor again and spray that. This one I cleaned up with the air compressor, but of course it's got water sort of in this bit here. So I've turned it upside down, letting that drain. And then I'll do that again with the air compressor. And then what we can do is start putting that back onto that with the seal. And I've got some special sealer to seal all that up with. So I'm going to put this gasket back on here. And we're going to connect these two bits together. Because we're using the original gasket, because you can't seem to get hold of the other ones. We've got a bit of this JB Red high temperature silicone sealer, which is good for 350 degrees. So it's going to be okay. So we're going to run that along there, little tiny bead around there, and then we'll fit that on there, and then we'll do the same there. Did you finish that? Fit that together. Well, I've put a bead around there, quite a lot actually. I'm going to brush that down. We've done the same there. I'll just finish a few little bits. Now we're going to make these two, make them up, and put the bolts back in. Okay, so that's all been tightened up. I did 10 Newton meters on that. So that's all tightened. So what I'll do is I'll wait till the morning, because you can't just put that straight on and use it, because you need your silicone to go hard, and that usually takes 24 hours. So we'll leave it overnight, and then we'll put that on early bird in the morning and try and go. And then hopefully I can put these bolts back in the morning once I can drive the vehicle to the place I need to go to get the bolts. So let's see. I mean, I've got one on that side and one on that side, so that's fine. I'll hold that down to do the job for a short trip. So that has been fully serviced. So we've checked that works, the flap works and everything. So we can put that on the car first thing in the morning. So we'll see you in the morning. Right, sunny day, next day. Just put the socket on there, just check they're all nice and tight, so that they are. So now basically we can start to put this back. Now it's useful while we're at this stage to just remember where these are. These lovely little two here. You get your first bolt there, and you've got your two here. So what my plan is, I'm going to put this one in and this one in, just so that gets it in the right position. Then put this one and this one in, and then connected the rest. Now what I'm going to do is quickly just run the bolts in and out on the block in the car, just to make sure that they're easy peasy before I start struggling. Okay, so we're back out of the engine. Now it's really useful to save yourself spending some time now to locate where the bolts go and put a bit of grease in there to make sure. So the first bolt for your cooler, look, this is where we are. If you just pan out, so we're here. So you've got a little knob here. Right, if you go straight down from that knob, that's your first bolt hole, is there where my finger is, and the second one is a little bit further down there. So look, I can put my finger straight on them because, and only because, I've been there. It's there and there, and the same on this side. And I've left the bolt in for you there on this side. That first bolt is just there. Okay, because what will happen is trying to get one of these in, getting these in while you're trying to hold up the cooler, it's going to be a pain. Right, so now we know where they are. Let's go and get the cooler in. And if you remember, we need to put the cooler in like that, long ways, and then bring it round. They're bolted up nice and tight on that side, and that's, I put them all those 4 in loosely first. Don't tighten one up because you won't probably be able to get the other 3 in. So they're all nice and tight. I've put the 2 bolts back here and here. That's nice and tight. So now I'm going to do is we're going to use the copper washers here. I'll put the ones at the back. Now I did manage to drop my light down the back at the bottom, so I'm going to go and retrieve that now. Okay, so I've now done them all up. I've done that one up there tight. Done these are all tight anyway. Put that on. Put the vacuum line on. Connected that up. Put your bracket in there. Connected those 2 in there, and we've just topped it up with fluid in there. So she's good. So right, so the last thing to do is just to take this back from over there. So the pipe's there. So we're all looking good to give her a quick test. See if we start up. She started up, look, we've got no lights on the dash. So what I'm going to do now is take her for a run. Now there is a way with VCDS to check the EGR valve. You can't check the cooler, but you can check the valve, which I can check later when I get back. But I'm going to take this for a quick spin now. Been out for a drive, everything runs great. I put some bolts in there on the top. That's all good. No leaks anywhere. Engine runs fine. So I believe we've done it. We have unblocked the cooler, the EGR cooler. We've given the full EGR valve a full service. Check that that's all okay. Everything's running fine. We haven't got a light on in the dashboard, so she's running great. So I hope this video will save you a lot of money and a lot of stress. Okay, so if you like the channel, please subscribe. If you've got a comment, send me a comment. I will always answer your comments. And the most important thing, just the very most important thing, please remember, you can do it. And we'll see you on the next video. If you save yourself a load of money and you feel like keeping me supplied in orange gloves, as you see, I've run out of gloves again. There's a way to sort of support me, and I'll put a link in the description.